Howdy, I'm Grey Pilgrim. Oh, dear. Well, let me tell you a tale. Back in the late 19th century, an engineer by the name of Rudolf Schmidt ran into another fellow by the name of Edward Rubin. And Schmidt developed this action, and Rubin developed a round to fit it. And this is the original, well, not the original. The original was in 1789. This is a 1911 Schmidt-Rubin. It's a bolt-action rifle. It is straight pull in design. And you do that and that. And works like a champ. This is the bolt and the firing pin. And if you pull back and turn, that's your safe. This was the standard Swiss Army rifle from 1789, a variant of this, until 1958. The 1958 one is right here. This is a K31. K31 is the culmination of this pattern. I wish I had a 1789. I've got two 1911s. I've got this carbine and I've got a full-length rifle, but the rifle's been sporterized, so it's well, it's okay, but it's had the front sight worked on, and it's missing. Well, it's missing everything. You know, I need to put a new wood on it, nose cap and rings and stuff. You know, to get it up to military spec. This showed up at my local favorite gun store, and I went, "That's a K31. I'll buy it." I've been looking for one of these. Actually, I was looking for. There are two versions of this, like this, and the other one was, instead of in a walnut stock, it was in beech. So the stock looks kind of white. Unique thing about these. Butt plate. Well, a Swiss soldier would take the butt plate off and take a little slip of paper and write down his name, his basically serial number, and the city he's from and the date he enlisted. And I have one of those. One of those is inside here at the moment. I can't remember the guy's name or the city, but I just do remember that it was in 1957. So I'm sure he's long past, because it's well over 60 years since this thing was issued. But this shoots the Edward Rubin cartridge, and the original one in 1789 was black powder. And was 7.5 by 53 and a half-ish. Later on, that was called the GP90, and later on it was made into a smokeless powder cartridge called the GP11, which was 7.5 by 55, and it's just a superb cartridge. The bolt on a K31. The locking lugs are back at the rear of the bolt, which is makes much more rational sense than this one, in which that bolt extends way in past the loading area here, and the locking lugs are on the front. This is a good design, but it's not as good as the K31. And this one, yes, you can shoot GP11 or 7.5 by 55 out of it, or you can shoot GP90. I guess you could shoot GP90 in this one as well, but why bother? I mean, it's a black powder round, and it would just gum everything up, and it would be messy. Which why I'd love to have an 1889, the original Schmidt-Rubin, just because it'd be just kind of cool to have that one. It's the first small caliber round ever developed by any army in Europe. But it was developed for black powder. It's kind of interesting. The Swiss are an interesting people. Very, very independent. Very independent. Their whole mindset back in the day, especially during World War II, was every man was issued one of these. Every man. I mean, you were automatically in the Swiss Army if you were a Swiss citizen. And you had one of these at home and an ample supply of ammunition. And in the event of a call-up, you were ready to go. You'd already been trained in military practices. Switzerland rifle practice is considered a family sport there. Everybody knows how to shoot. Everybody. And everybody enjoys it because it's a family outing. You go out to the range, you have the shoot, you compete for prizes, and then you have lunch or dinner or something. And then, the old men go over there in the corner with a bottle and chat. And then, everybody goes home and, friends are all around. It's just a wonderful culture. The Swiss have traditionally been neutral since the Franco-Prussian War in 1870. By the way, from 1870 to 1914, that period in European history is called the Long Peace, because there was no major war in Europe in that little window of time. And in that time, they really prospered. The Industrial Revolution really took off in many countries. Many advances in things like transportation, medicine, chemistry, metallurgy, the mechanics of firearms, all kinds of areas in which things prospered. And in 1914, all of that prosperity was thrown at each other in a major war and ended up with everybody impoverished. It was just a total waste. And the whole old order of royal families governing various countries died. And Republican forms took over everywhere. And in some cases it worked okay. France became bickering. The UK has always been bickering. But Germany, they really preferred the discipline of a military, a martial aristocracy running the show. I mean, it's I think, hardwired in their brains or something in Germany. And I don't know. It's just, I know I'm generalizing here, but it's sort of true. And they've been used to being told what to do so long that when they're told what to do by people who don't know what to do, people get angry. That's what happened with the Weimar. People who didn't know what to do were telling what to do, and inflating the currency and ruining the country, basically. And what it did was polarize everybody into the far left and far right. So you had the communists and the National Socialists with street battles everywhere. Well, in today's world, we're having almost that. The UK is about to blow up because of their problems, and looks like the US may have some issues this year. I don't know. I'm going to sit out here in my canyon and ignore everybody. Anyway, Schmidt Rubin. I love this particular set of rifles, this rifle family. It's a wonderful design. Oh, by the way, this is the Schmidt Rubin bolt assembly. This is what it looks like. Othias over at CN Arsenal designed this. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought, yeah, I've got a couple of those. I'll take one of those. So I proudly wear a Schmidt Rubin design bolt on my T-shirt. Anyway, not much else to talk about, but if you have a chance to ever fire one of these, the GP11 round has almost the same ballistics as a 308. So it's a great round. It's an absolutely wonderful rifle. Happy trails.